this thing is a cure to most illnesses. Now, I can't account for physical injuries and stuff like that. But if you have an illness that is not physically induced, like an injury or a break, this will help most illnesses. And especially if you are dealing with mental health problems or consider yourself to be a targeted individual. I'm not going to make this long. I just want to get straight to it. But it's fat, and not just any fat, not animal fat. It's vegan fat. So avocado, seeds, nuts, tofu, like these type of things is what cures, especially mental health issues. I'll explain it in brief, but I don't want this to be too long. It occurred to me that when people go on fast or they do diets, they're doing it wrong because they haven't had enough fats in their bodies. Usually, this is what happens. They eat a diet of like, especially if you're vegan, you eat a diet of like very clean food. But if you haven't got enough fats in your body, you go on a fast and then you're just draining your brain because your brain needs fats to operate as effectively as it can. So if you're starving your brain of fats and then you're going on these fasts or these diets, then you are practically you're allowing these parasites that infiltrate the brain to like get a hold of like see, now my words are going because they're trying to stop me from saying this, but trying to get a hold of your brain's synapses or whatever it is that they attach to. And they do use your medulla oblongata to control your body. I have another video on this. I can't remember what the title is, but I'll put it in the comments. They use that to control your body. It can control your speech, your muscle actions, your coughing, all the natural things that you do that you don't realize that you're doing, like breathing and other things like that. They can control it from that aspect. So what I'm really trying to say is, if you eat your fats, especially for people who have like schizophrenia and psychosis, they found that after the person passed away, they did a few studies. They found that the brain had deteriorated in the sense that it had been eaten from the inside out, in a sense that it become decreased. The parasite does that. And if you're thinking that you don't have a parasite in your body, you're probably, I don't want to say you're delusional, but you probably do. You probably most likely have a parasite in your body. So in your brain, 99% of the population have parasites in their brain. It's designed by the government to infiltrate people's bodies. That's why they spray it in the air, they put it in the food, blah, 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 blah. And so that's why you probably have a parasite in your brain, and fats are what's going to help you to overcome the depletion that happens in the brain. Why people get dementia is because they haven't got enough good fats in their brain. They eat animal fats, which is hard to break down, and it clogs up especially in the winter, it clogs up in the arteries and veins and in the brain. But if you're eating healthy vegan fats, like I said, like do your research. I'm not going to tell you more of what those are. You have to find out what it is for yourself. But if you ingest more of those healthy fats, your brain will start to regenerate itself. It will start to fill out. It will have the power and the energy it needs to operate at high function. Also, because it will become fatter and fuller, the parasites can't move around as easily. So these parasites I'm talking about, other people can call it nanotechnology, but if you watch my channel long enough, you know I don't believe in nanotechnology. I believe that it's all parasites being programmed to affect people and control people. That's how the world is being controlled, through this fake parasites infection, which is fake nanotechnology infection, which is just a parasite that has been programmed to operate through your brain, your pineal gland mostly. It's just, it has access to your pineal gland and is using your brain from that space to control the rest of your body and your reality. So once we learn how to get rid of these parasites, then obviously the world would become a better place. Now, I was questioning whether I wanted to share this information or not. I didn't know if people would be ready or even understand what I'm trying to say or understand what I'm trying to say. And it may be something that people are already aware of. So I didn't know whether I wanted to share it, but something told me that I should share it in case there's somebody out there who is dealing with these things, especially if you're a targeted individual. I cannot emphasize enough, eat fats like it's your life. Eat fats more than anything else, and then everything else is just like an add-on to that. Because fats will nourish you, especially if you do have to look into food, because there's ways that they put like chemicals on it and all this type of stuff to make it not as effective as it should be. But there's oils that are good for you, but fat should be one of your main sources of food, like, and then everything else is just like a supplement. So even if you don't eat fish, eat oily fishes because they are helpful. And actually, when I was looking into how to kill brain parasites, oily fish was one of the sources that they use to create the medicine that they use to kill parasites in the brain. But anyway, so eat oily fats. And then I wanted to add on top of this, when it all comes down to it, there are those who are adepts. If you become an adept, if you become so so confident in yourself, you'll realize that none of it actually matters. You could eat poison when you get to the highest level of like consciousness or like knowledge and understanding, overstanding. You could eat poison and it won't kill you. But I don't want you to do any of those type of things. I don't want you to think that you can neglect what you eat because that's not good, because you think you can overcome any health issues. I encourage you to learn about your diet. And normally you have to learn these things first before you can get to that stage where you become impenetrable to these things. There are people who smoke all their life and they have no problems. They don't believe that it will harm them. But that, again, those people are very lucky and very few. But if you become an adept, and maybe they had a past life where they had learned something that we don't know now, but when you become an adept, then you will be at that level where you don't need to eat anything. You can eat anything you want and it won't affect you in a negative way. But if you're not that person, if you're not at that level yet, don't try it. Just focus on eating healthy, what your body needs. Your brain needs fats to process and to grow and to do what it needs to do. If your brain is being depleted, which is what happens when you get dementia, if you have any like memory issues, dementia, even your bones need fat as well. So if you have any issues, fat. So anyway, I think I've gone on too long. But do your own research, as I always say. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. They tried to trick us and tell us that fat was bad for us, and they tried to cancel it from our diets. And now look at everybody suffering from mental health issues, and majority of the population are on pills because they took those healthy fats out of our diet. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. And I just wanted to add on to that. The thing that I wrote down was fat in the diet is like gold because it's hard to come by in the natural environment. It is literally nature's gold. Or like the vegetarian diet or vegan diet, or how do I say this? I'll say nature's gold is fat. Literally, fat. When you see it, like when you see it in animals, it's yellow. It's gold. Fat is gold. So honor fat like it's gold and eat it like you really mean to like improve your health. So anyway, especially if you fast, eat fat before you fast. Like before you go on a big fast, eat a lot of fat so that when your body is fasting, it's not depleting you of all those things. The trick of the enemy is to make you believe that I can speak for what happened to me. I felt like I had to go on a fast or a diet because I was being attacked or feeling like these experiences which felt like I was being attacked, which I didn't realize I was actually making things worse because every time I realized I got slimmer or I lost weight, I became way more under attack than when I would get pains in my back and my neck and my all around my body when I had gone on a diet and lost weight. And I thought I was being healthy because I was eating extremely healthy, but I was not eating vegan. When you're vegan, it's hard to find the right healthy fats. And it's like, so all I was eating was avocado once in a while or like a bit of oil. No, you need to make it the biggest portion of your diet. I know I'm saying this over and over again, but I really need you to understand this because I'm really trying to help as many people as possible. And I really want all of us to be as healthy as we can be because in this time that we're in, we need to overcome what's going on. If you're a pregnant woman, please eat loads of vegan fats and oily fish. You're not allowed to eat fish, but like oily, like healthy fats, oils, seeds, nuts, avocados, whatever it is, olives. Do your research as much as possible. I'm not nutritionally how do you say? I don't have a certificate in nutrition. I'm just saying this because it just occurred to me and I want you to know. Do your research, as I said before. So there was something that came to me. I wanted to say that to pregnant women. Pregnant women tend to forget things quite often. And I think it's because they've had the depletion of fats in their brains because the baby is taking all of the fats out of their system. And I just want to say that, like I said about the trickery thing, they try to trick you to do things that will be counterproductive and allow the parasite to take over. So as I said, when I was on a healthy diet, when I thought I was being healthy, I was under the most attack. I felt the worst I ever felt, even though I was meant to be as healthy as I should be. So that's a long way of saying that fat is gold. When they say eat gold, they practically mean fat. If you look at all the fats, they're all yellow. They're all gold. Avocado, when you open it, it's yellow inside. The seeds tend to be yellow or like white. I can't think of the oils are like yellow. Some of them are like green, but like mostly the oils that are fat induced are yellow. So if you see yellow foods, sorry, I got a bit loud there, but if you see yellow foods, it's most likely they have a high fat content. But not, I don't know about like in vegetables and stuff like that, but in other things like nuts and seeds and stuff like that. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, so eat nature's gold. Eat as much nature's gold as you can. Be conscious of seasons, because everything is seasonal on earth, and we need to go back in tune with nature, because nature will keep us healthy. But in seasons, do what is necessary. Think about the impact of what you're doing. Fats also can clog up things, so you have to be cautious in the wintertime. In the summertime, it's perfect because it melts quickly. But this mostly applies if you're eating animal fats. I think that vegetable fats are good all year round. So again, I just repeat that. Like, anyway, I'm not going to go into too much. I'll leave it at that.